Hey guys, and in this video we're going to be talking about DMX, and if you're completely new to DMX this video should help you out a lot. DMX is a system that allows you to control your lighting effects from a controller. Now it works on a system where you give each parameter of the light a number known as its channel, and then by selecting that number on your controller you can control that parameter. Now if you look at the specs of your light fixture it will say it runs in 6 DMX channels. This basically means you have 6 different parameters of the light that you can control via DMX. Now with some fixtures it will say it has 3, 4 and 5 DMX channel modes. This basically means you can choose how many channels you want the fixture to run in. Consider it to be an advanced and simple mode. Now for more information go check out the instruction manual on your light for more information about the DMX control for your particular fixture. Now I'm going to show you how to connect up your lights. Now you're going to need DMX cable, which is usually 3-pin or 5-pin XLR cable. Most DJ lights will use 3-pin. You'll only really find 5-pin when you get to more professional lighting. Now 3-pin DMX cable looks exactly the same as normal XLR audio cable, and in theory you can use normal XLR audio cable for controlling your DMX lights, but I don't recommend it. DMX is shielded to stop you getting interference with the DMX signal, and normal XLR cable isn't, but that's really a topic for another separate video. Now when you look at the back of your lights you'll see a DMX input and output. You can daisy chain DMX, so basically you go DMX out of your controller and into your first fixture, then out of the first fixture into the second, and so on through all of your fixtures. You can also get DMX splitters if you need to split your signal, which is useful if you need to run DMX down either side of a venue. Now one important thing to remember when setting up your lights is DMX cable can only handle 512 channels or parameters of light control. Now this will become a bit clearer in a minute. It's a good idea to use a DMX terminator on the end of your daisy chain. All this is basically an XLR plug with a resistor inside of it, and when you put it on the end of your DMX chain it stops you getting signals reflected back down the cable. Basically it ends the DMX signal there. DMX reflections can give you errors in your lights. Now using a DMX terminator isn't essential, but I think it's a good idea to do. Now you need to address your lighting fixture. This is basically saying which channels out of the 512 that particular fixture is controlled with. I've drawn out a plan to hopefully make explaining this clearer. Each number you see is a single DMX channel. Now remember, one single line of DMX can only hold 512 channels, which is why when you scroll through the addressing on your DMX light, it only goes up to 512. Now my plan here only goes up to 80, but it would go all the way up to 512 if I had room. Now let's say we wanted to address a megapar profile in 3-channel mode. So let's set it to address 1. Now you can see it takes up 3 out of our DMX channels. Now I want to add another megapar profile. Now channels 1, 2 and 3 are being used by the other light, so I'm going to put this light on channels 4, 5 and 6. Now I also want to add one of my scanners, and that uses 6 channels. So I add that in using channels 7 through 12. Now you don't have to do them all in order using up all the channels. I could throw in a light at channels 44 through 46 if I wanted to. Now the important number is the first channel of each fixture. When you go set your DMX address on your light, this is the number you'll use. So when we go onto our digital display or using our dip switches depending on your light, we can set our DMX address. So for example that first megapar profile, we're going to set that to DMX channel 1, and our second megapar profile, well that's going to be set to DMX address number 4. Now how you set your light varies on your particular fixture. And also you want to make sure you have the correct DMX mode if your fixture can do that. For example, I have this megapar profile set in 3-channel mode at address number 4. Now if I wanted to, I could have more than one light fixture on the same channel. Say I've got my 2 megapar profiles I've just set up, and I want to have them both doing the same thing at the same time, and it doesn't matter about controlling them separately. Now I could set them both to be DMX channel 1, and then both do exactly the same thing, so you don't have to have them all on separate addresses. You can double up lighting fixtures using the same DMX address. Now if you ever get to the point where you're using so many lights you need more than 512 channels of DMX control, you'll need to get a controller that can run additional lines of DMX. Now each line of DMX is known as a DMX universe, and each DMX universe is of course 512 channels. Now for most of us we're never going to go near 512 channels, so I wouldn't worry about it. Now we've addressed our lights, we can go over to our DMX controller. Now DMX controllers vary massively in the way they work, so really look at tutorials and videos for your particular DMX controller on how to set it up. You can get very simple controllers like this 3-channel controller designed to control simple RGB of par cans, to this basic DMX controller I use, all the way up to something like this ETC Ion, which can control 2 universes, that's 1024 channels of DMX. On your controller you can set up your lights how you want and then record them as a scene to play back when you want. You can even set a chase and so on. For more information on how to control your lights, you're really going to have to look at your manual for your DMX controller. So I hope you found some of this stuff useful. If you've got some questions about DMX, leave them in the comments below and I'll make sure to answer them. And if you want, I may even do a more advanced DMX tutorial if there's anything you think I've missed out. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please comment, rate and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.